Hey everybody, this is Jacob with Fitness Tested, and today I'll be reviewing the Nike Vaporfly 4. So here we have the Nike Vaporfly 4s. For those of you who don't know, this is the original super shoe. Nike's even got it printed there right on the front of the shoe. So this is really the shoe that started it all in terms of just all the brands releasing the most technologically advanced shoes so runners can really get the most out of their performance on race day. With the new edition of Vaporflies, it did come with some minor upgrades in the upper and the midsole. The real big change for this shoe was the heel toe drop along with the heel stack. So most of the brands have been utilizing the full 40 millimeters that's allowed by World Athletic Standards. And Nike, for a change, they've gone to only 35 millimeters in the heel and 29 in the forefoot, which is a pretty significant deal for super shoes since all of them have been typically using that full, 39 to 40 millimeters. And I think with that, Nike's really wanting to specialize the Vaporfly towards lower distances from half marathon down, and I would say even more being specialized towards the 5K, 10K distance, just with that lower stack. And I think they also did this to save a bit more weight, cut down on the weight, which they did that indeed with these. They're 10% lighter, the lightest Vaporfly ever, and they're weighing in about 6.7 ounces for a men's size 10. All right, so we'll dive into the Vaporfly 4s piece by piece here. We'll start with the outsole for these. And overall, we've got really good rubber coverage at the forefoot. No rubber coverage here at the midfoot, but a little bit of rubber at the back, at the heel. And overall, that's been a struggle with some of their super shoes, like the Alphafly and Vaporfly. Sometimes just the outsole can get shredded pretty quickly. I do think with this new outsole here on the forefoot, I'm hoping it holds up a lot better. It seems to be a little more thick than in the previous version, the threes. So I'm hoping it holds up well. It does seem to be a bit more grippy for some of those wet mornings in the rain. So I found it to be a lot more grippy, and overall I'm just hoping it's gonna hold up better than previous versions. And now we'll dive into the upper here. So typically with their Vaporfly, Alphafly lines, they've been going with either the Flyknit upper or the Atom Knit, which they use in the Alphaflies. And Nike decided to go just more with a traditional engineered mesh upper in this, which I was kind of confused about too, because it's more they use in like the regular trainers. But actually, like getting it on foot, it feels a lot more of a comfortable and secure fit than what I'm used to with the Flyknit and the Atom Knit. And it feels just as breathable. And honestly, I think in terms of weight savings, it feels just as lightweight as those styles they've used in the upper. And overall, I can't complain about the lockdown. They still have that little heel padding in the back of the shoe there. And just like their Vaporfly 3s, you still do have to, you want to fully cinch up the laces when you're getting on for race day. And that's going to give you a nice lockdown fit that'll, it'll feel more secure, stride through stride for race day. And now we'll dive into the midsole here. So Nike's sticking with the classic Zoom X foam here. For their foam, which is their most responsive, most lightweight foam that they use in all their super shoes, super trainers. And like I said earlier, it is a big change in terms of the heel toe drop and only 35 millimeters stack there in the heel. I will say too, the base is a little more narrow than the previous version, so that could be a little more unstable for some of those sharp turns throughout a race. But overall, just with the weight savings it brings, I think it's well worth it to have the more trimmed down foam there for the Vaporflies. The other aspect to the shoe that they changed quite a bit would be the curvature of the plate there. They've got the Nike Fly plate, as you can see there. It always have it visible there at the bottom. So they did tweak the curvature of that a bit. So it is a bit more aggressive, more of the aggressive motion there, a little bit more tilted. And I say they're doing that to just make it a little more snappy for those faster type races between 5K, 10K. So this curvature will feel a little more unnatural at paces half marathon and above. So it really solidifies what they're wanting to switch this shoe in terms of specialty. With their midsole too, they even added the little iconic heel flare there that you'll see in the Alphafly 3s. So they're a little bit mimicking the Alphaflys. So it even looks like a little baby Alphafly here now. I've been a big fan of the Vaporfly line, especially the 3s. I've been doing a lot of road races in the previous version of these, and they're nice and snappy for those shorter distance races from 5K, 10K. I even used them up to the half marathon distance and they worked really well. And I think I enjoy the 4s even more because they've cut down on the weight. I think with the curvature of the plate, they feel even more responsive as you're going through your stride. With this update though, I do tend to only want to use them for distances like 10K and below. I think just with the decrease in the weight and increased curvature, that they're not as good for my paces, more the 10-mile distance and up. So now you know more here about Nike's original Super Shoe. It's another solid update for them, and you will not be served poorly by these at all. It's a solid everyday race shoe.